Tonight on Podcast Them Down, we find out who's right about MANOWAR's album, Gods of War. Hail Metal Nation, it is I, Tim, from Burning Shadows, which is an American power metal band. Eisenmore, which is a dual violin folk metal band. Recently vacated Graves, True Zombie Metal, which is a true zombie metal band. And Fade to Black, which is a Metallica tribute. I'm joined by Matt and Doug, but you already know them because you're a loyal Podcast Them Down listener, and you've subscribed, and you've shared the episodes, and you have joined the Patreon for as little as $1 a month, and you've bought a shirt from steelresolve.com. And if you haven't done any of those things, well, then you're just a poser. So
yeah, leave the hall.
Yes, leave the hall.
But keep listening first for the...
Keep listening until you've accomplished all the goals, and then you are no longer a poser.
Yeah, you can still listen, just not in the hall.
All right.
Yeah. Put your credit card number in, then get out.
Yeah.
We have hosting fees, damn it. And we have to hire Judge Reinhold for future episodes. So I'm still gonna judge just like last time. But our goal is to get Judge Reinhold to get us, and a guy like him probably does not have a cheap appearance fee. So maybe we should have one of those thermometers where at the top is Judge Reinhold.
That'd be good.
You don't like that idea?
I said that would be good.
Yeah, but you were.
I was reading.
There was a hesitation. There was a hesitation.
There's never any hesitation. Oh, sorry.
All right,
Judge Reinhold.
We need to get.
So
I just want to recreate that Arrested Development episode. All right, so Gods of War, the MANOWAR album. All right, so last time we just picked the highest and the lowest, but we cannot do that this time because there are two highest reviews. I think two. Yeah, just two. So there's
just two.
One titled Gods of Heavy Metal at 100%. These are on metal-archives.com, by the way. And then there is another 100% titled Outstanding. So we have to choose one of these two reviews. And then for the low review, luckily there's a 3%.
Yeah.
Where does 3% come? Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out today.
I've reviewed these two reviews, and I believe that the Outstanding 100% is a stronger and more readable review.
Okay.
But that's just my opinion.
Yeah. So last time we decided, and it worked very well. So Doug is going to choose one side. Matt's going to choose the other side. They're going to present their arguments to me, and I will decide who was right. And their sides are these Metal Archive reviews. So
we need to get that. Here's a drop we need for this. What is it called? I don't know. Segment. You need to get George W. Bush saying like, "I'm the decider."
Well, I have something close. I have this.
Just do anything.
All right, that's pretty good.
I also have this.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Yes.
And I also have this.
We don't give a shit.
So,
well, I mean,
mix them all together.
Because you're deciding. So,
So Matt, why don't you take the positive one? I'll go negative this time.
Okay. I think
that's fair. That's fair.
I think that sounds fair. All right.
And for the record, unlike last time, I'm actually conflicted about this album. So one of you is going to convince me today.
All right. Great. So, this is Outstanding 100%. The only correct way to consider MANOWAR's Gods of War. Look at that. Wearing a MANOWAR shirt. I'm fucking ready for this. I only wish it was in that wacky rune font, and maybe I'll see if I can get a shirt in that one of these days.
This is by Fitz, and it was
by
published.
Fitz.
Published June 15th. That's the day we're recording
today.
it.
Just
15 years ago. Today.
15 short years ago.
That's amazing.
In the words of Fitz, personally, I can't understand why so many people hate this album and complain that there's not enough, quote, true metal songs, unquote, on it. Imagine that MANOWAR had released a typical metal album. There's missing clause in there. And it actually technically released typical metal album instead of
you have to read
War,
it as written, please.
with standard heavy metal songs, 2 or 3 ballads, etc. I bet that there would have been complaints that they're doing the same over and over again. The conclusion is you can't please everyone, and secondly, people enjoy complaining. Now,
I'm liking this.
think-
I want to interject commentary, so it's
Sure, of course. That's your prerogative as the decider.
I like that his review has started by shitting on the other reviewers. I think that's a good way to write a review.
I believe he trashed everyone.
Right. Sure did. All right.
Now, I think I should write something about the album itself. Gods of War is a concept album based on Norse mythology. It focuses on Odin, Nordic god of war. Surprise, surprise. To build proper atmosphere, MANOWAR included spoken introductions, overtures, and other similar things. They occupy a large part of the album and are a main cause of complaints. However, I think they are necessary to link the other songs together and keep the story in one piece. Some of them are also quite interesting. To be honest, I can't imagine listening to the title track without mighty introduction, glory, majesty, unity. It just wouldn't be the same.
I forgot about that. Yeah, they
now,
read it, for some reason they redo the Warrior's Prayer and they just make it awkward and stilted.
Yeah. I mean, but in a great way, in a greatly stilted in an awesome way. And now for a word or two about more traditional tracks. They are all excellent. King of Kings, Sleipnir, and Loki God of Fire are fast and powerful heavy metal songs with mighty sing-along choruses, even though we didn't like that for Iron Maiden. They are also slower but massive songs which crush everything around. Especially worth mentioning is the title track. And last but not least, there is a ballad, Blood Brothers.
Are we sure this isn't another Iron Maiden review?
It's a traditional MANOWAR ballad. Maybe not as powerful as Swords in the Wind, but still very enjoyable. There is also a bonus track, and if you don't like metal, we will kill you song called Die for Metal, which includes some funny lyrics. And the guy beside me gave me a beer.
I have to interject here. I have to interject. What's funny about that?
Yeah.
I mean,
explain to me why that's funny. A guy got fired from his job and goes to a metal show and someone gives him a beer. What's funny about that?
Well, I mean, it's just sort of unexpected. It's probably like in the morning. That's kind of
we
funny.
are.
And also, he's saying the song's not as good as some other songs, and he's thrown out 100%. He's thrown out 100%.
If you're patient, he addresses this.
All right. Well, let's keep going.
Here I should write how I would tell my students, don't introduce it, just do it. Here I should write how great the album is.
Real quick, it's not if you don't like metal, we will kill you. That's not what Die for Metal's about.
No, it's
about the Metal Brotherhood.
But
ostracize you. Yeah.
And I think it's like, if you like metal, you will kill yourself. Technically.
You will die for it.
For
I don't
metal,
think you'll
yeah.
kill yourself.
I mean, but if there was a situation,
Do I have to put the suicide hotline in this
No,
episode?
no.
Because I had to
But
do
I'm
it
just-
in the other episode.
I'm just saying hypothetically, if there was a situation with the world's metal supply was in danger, and only by flinging yourself into the pop country like whirlwind could you save metal?
Please call Farm Emo what it is.
Okay, farm emo. By throwing yourself into that whirlwind, killing yourself, but nonetheless saving metal. I feel like if you're a fan of Die for Metal, you're making that pledge.
Okay, all right. Well, continue.
All right, back to the thing. Here I should write about how great the album is and recommend it to everybody, right? Wrong.
Wait.
I mean,
go ahead.
It is great, but I think it's just not for everyone. If you want fast and simple metal to bang your head to, stay away from this one.
I thought it had good, fast, powerful songs.
If you consider Blind Guardian's Nightfall and Middle Earth boring and full of useless interludes, then Gods of War will kill you. Literally. You'll die for metal.
That's what it says. That's what it says.
But if you are an open-minded person who enjoys epic stories, you should give it a chance and you won't regret it.
People, Opeth has been putting out turd after turd after shitball. And people are, whenever I say I hate it, they go, "Oh, you just need to open your mind." No, it just sounds
open your mind,
bad.
bro.
Fuck you. You know?
No.
Oh, a band changed their sound and I have to like it because I like their old sound? No, that doesn't make any sense. All right, go ahead.
Okay, one last paragraph. Concerning rating, I've planned to rate it a bit lower, but I really can't find any serious flaws.
That's not what you said earlier.
Would probably think about these spoken tracks, but I think it would be stupid to replace them with some mediocre metal songs. The end.
I find it troubling that this guy who gave this album 100% thinks Manowar's capable of writing mediocre songs.
Yeah, I think even if we have some quibbles with Mr. Fitz himself, or I assume it's themselves, whoever this Fitz person is, I think we can agree that their sentiment is 100% correct.
Also,
just like this album.
Manowar mediocre songs. If you like those, go check out Lords of Steel.
Oh.
Well, I'll say all this is unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
So, Corbane, I hope I sell
Oh my
your
god.
narrative here. Correct. So, congratulations, Manowar. You made the most pointless, stupidest album of all time. It's impossible for me to think of anyone even listening to the whole album. This is complete shit. Actually, this is torture. I'll never speak shit again. I'll just say Sons of Odin and make more impact. Man, this album is fucking horrible. It's disgusting that a once classic heavy metal band that used to represent all of metal has hit officially the bottom of the biggest well mankind has never done. The attempt on being epic here is so pathetic that after 20 seconds, it's not even funny, because that's when you realize that the only heavy metal feeling you get will be at the end of the album when you want to bang your head against the wall and forget the last painful hour. This is boring as hell could never be. Therion, you are nothing compared to this.
Wow, I love the shade thrown at Therion.
Manowar's Sons of Odin makes Therion look like Accept. This is bad.
Wow.
The first track, Overture, etc., is an intro. Do you know the kind of album intro that's so pointless that you always skip to the next song? Well, this surely happens here, but unfortunately, it's not the only intro. Actually, Overture to the Hymn of the Immortal Warriors, great name, by the way, is an introduction to the Ascension, the introduction to King of Kings.
This guy doesn't
King
like
of Kings,
preambles.
my friends, is a perfect exhibition of pure heavy metal that Manowar used to do with pride, and now seems too tired to even try. King of Kings is probably a top 10 MANOWAR song. It's a really amazing song. Even the slow, cheesy, emotional part somewhere in the middle works because it explodes in some fast and furious riffage and soloing and screaming and balls. Tell me why and how a band can write a song like this. It's such a horrifying album. I'll give them 20 points just because of that song, but the rest of it made me so angry I can't even do that.
Wait a minute. So
you would have given 20%.
Points, okay. I was just trying to figure out what scale he was using. If 20 points is 3%.
Well, I think even if he... no. There is a 10% review. So that would have changed which one if he actually gave it. All right, go ahead.
Look, I have nothing to say about the rest of the album, especially because I couldn't even hear all of it. Maybe Loki God of Fire and Sleipnir worth some attention, but it's nothing special either. At least there are guitars instead of ridiculously cheesy keyboards, speeching, and amazing sound effects imitating fire, winds, etc. And let me get something clear now. I love MANOWAR, battle hymns, Hail to England, Fight in the World, Kings of Metal, etc.
All Ross the Boss albums.
These are great example of pure heavy metal with power and balls. Of course, there was some pointless, cheesy songs here and there, but everyone liked it because the essence was there. And somewhere between 2001, being nice to them, and 2007, they just lost it. I could close my eyes and believe that Sons of Odin was just a bad idea, but no. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry to say it, but for me, MANOWAR is officially dead, buried, burnt, and shooted in the middle of the legs twice. I guess Joe DiMaio thought that the reason we all used to love MANOWAR were the true epic speeches and unnecessary songs such as the Warrior's Prayer instead of the pounding riffs and amazing songwriting. Make a favor for you in metal. Don't buy this. It's uninspired in all senses. Pure utter shit. I'm sorry about the vocabulary, but this is probably the worst attempt by a major metal band ever, along with Risk and Saint Anger. But at least Metallica and Megadeth admitted what they were doing at the time, whilst MANOWAR will keep the true speech, etc. Shame on you.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Wow.
All right. Well, this one...
I would also like to point out that this was also written in the second week of June, June 10, 2007. So apparently June is the time to listen to Gods of War.
All right. Well, I hope everyone listened to Gods of War in June.
I did, yeah.
Wow. So
unbelievable. Or you can have this conversation.
I was skimming through the 10% review and it's like so much longer. It's amazing. Like he puts the definition of epic in it. Like the dictionary definition and
Webster's dictionary defines epic as.
All right, anyway. So what I'm struggling with in this one is that both the reviews are wrong and their numbers don't quite make sense.
Yeah. But one of them makes a lot more sense.
In both
because
cases.
I think the error of 91 to 100 is much lesser than the error from 3 to 91. So I think we need to take that into account.
Well, so like they both mentioned Loki God of Fire and Sleep, and Loki God of Fire, by the way, is not a good song. Like I don't know why they both called it out as a good song. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little awkward. I'm reviewing the reviews.
If you had told Joey DiMaio back in 1988 he'd be playing stuff as dumb as the first 2 minutes of this song, he would have broken your head with his bass.
Is that from the 10%?
It is. It's from the review of Sons of Odin.
So the 3% He's like oddly obsessed with testicles, which I find. It was 2007. Maybe everyone was talking about balls back then, but now these days, whenever anyone talks about balls, they're talking about manscaped and shaving them. So, yeah.
Well, I do think, I mean, just to be kind to my opponent here, I do appreciate that balls is always capitalized, and I believe, or like in all caps, actually. And I think he always capitalizes metal because it's not just, it's a proper noun.
Another thing that bothers me about the low review is that
it's wrong.
He called the Warrior's Prayer an unnecessary song. I think the Warrior's Prayer is a MANOWAR staple. It is canon. It is pure MANOWAR. Like, this is... The Warrior's Prayer is MANOWAR, and his problem should not be that they added a new Warrior's Prayer. It's that they changed the Warrior's Prayer, something that was perfect to begin with. That was clearly a MANOWAR New Coke moment. And this guy doesn't, the good review doesn't call that out at all. He doesn't say, I love the new thing. It's like he forgot it was there. It's like he turned it off after Loki got him fired, thinking it was a good song. So both of these reviews are flawed. So I might have to defer to your closing statements to really make my decision.
Okay, well, here we go. So, both of these reviews, I think, are problematic. But there's one thing we can agree on, and that's cover art. And let me remind you, even though it's not mentioned by these flawed reviews, cool, untranslated, runic fonts, including the whole liner notes. And it's the first time that we really get a good glimpse of all the sexy bat girls and their snake companions. Now, do those mean that this is an outstanding 100% album? Possibly not. But I would like to submit that in a world where this album can't get 100%, is a world that's not worth living in. And that's why I will be dying for metal very soon.
I stand by that this is a fucking horrible record. Do yourself a favor and don't buy it. Cover art's great. It just lures you in.
I know this
MANOWAR
is highly
is buried, burnt, and shot.
I know this is highly unorthodox, but I would like to add a rebuttal to my own closing statement and note that the unbelievable 3% review is full of bravado and pomposity, whereas the 100% review is apologetic and considering of the feelings of others. So I have to feel like, at least according to MANOWAR rules, the 3% is much better.
Well, all right. So,
but that's just kind of the honesty that the good side, the right side, can portray.
I have said in the past there's a great EP hiding on Gods of War. There's a lot of fluff. But I'm not sure I agree with the 100% review. If all that fluff needs to be there, just you write the like it work. Like he mentions Blind Guardian, Nightfall, and Middle Earth. That works great. But I would say percentage-wise, there is far less fluff. It's more like mortar between the bricks. Oh. Whereas the fluff in Gods of War would be closer to the bubbles in an Aero bar. Oh. Cadbury figured out how to sell you less chocolate. That's all that is. So, that being said, you don't fuck with Warrior's Prayer, and unequivocally, the best song on Gods of War is Die for Metal. It's a fantastic song, but it's not even really part of the album, is it?
Yeah.
It's a bonus track. It's the appendix. So I think you know where I'm going with this.
Oh.
Doug has won the day and convinced me that Gods of War is in fact 3% good.
God damn it.
All right. So I'm glad we got that settled. So did I get it wrong? Write in with your rebuttals. You know, you don't have to use the pre-existing review.
But when you do, please capitalize the word balls.
Balls. If you're going to use the word balls, it has to be all capitals.
Well, you must use the word balls at least once to be considered.
Only if it's was it the negative review? Yeah, only.
Yeah.
only write in with balls if you're going to agree with me. Unless you're talking about the presence of balls.
That should be the subject line of the email.
Yeah, just balls. Just write it in the comments. Contact us however you need to contact us.
Comment below this YouTube video.
Facebook, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Just write in.
Well, know where you stand.
That's right. And where your balls are. Okay, until next time, keep it fluffy and metal. And where's the closing music? There it is. Maybe I should just always pick the bad review.
No, you should have a sincere discussion.
Well, I'm 2 for 2 on bad reviews right now.
Well, I mean, that was the right call.
We did choose bad albums.